This is why I need people. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my first stream of a baseball game where I'll be following play by play and calling the game. And yes, thank you, DDH and Maria, Thomas, and anyone that might show up to point out everything I'm doing wrong because I'm way out of my element right now. All I can say is I'm a huge Orioles fan, and the season has been clinched as far as nothing left to really play for. And this is the weekend. So my normal stream is Sunday through Thursday nights. I do a comedy reaction stream. But I thought I'd give my give it a try. Try my hand. I can't think of anything. I'm gonna get all flustered tonight. Again, I'm out of my element. It's always been a lifelong dream to call baseball games like as a career. So the second I'm like gonna think about doing it like for two people, if that, I'm already freezing up. But basically, here's the deal. It's game number 161. The Orioles have already won 100 games. They've locked up the AL East. They've locked up the best record in the league. And, yeah, they rested a lot of players last night. They lost a game that wasn't fun to watch, but I did anyway. But tonight, there's a sellout crowd at Camden Yards. The Orioles will be taking on the Red Sox for game 2 of a 4-game series. And, yeah. I want to go ahead and, what do you call it? Oh, game 3, by the way. This is game 3, isn't it? Wait, is it Friday or Saturday? I live out in Thailand. Things are a little confusing for me. Yeah, it's game 3 because there's 2 games to go. Right. I'm really good at this. Oh, great, DDH. You sound like a perfect ambassador for the game. Let me tell you something. Baseball is exciting. And, you know, I was reading something this morning about how baseball, like what do you call it? The ratings are down, like the TV ratings. And people are talking about, you know, baseball, and how they've shortened the game. They got the pitch clock. They've sped the game up. Oh, wait a minute. I don't have this volume. Hold on. That music is going to already get me in trouble. God damn Fox music. God damn. All right. Fox says the game. And boy, is their music loud when it starts. Okay. Okay, right. I don't know what I was just saying, but I'm going to... All right, we're going to look at the actual screen here. All right? And yeah, the halo behind me will go away eventually. Eventually. As the sun comes up, I'll turn that light off. Give it about 10 minutes. All right, so here's tonight's lineup, by the way, in case you're interested. For the Red Sox, it's we got Alex Verdugo in right, Rafael Devers at third, Justin Turner hitting third at first, Yoshida's DHing, Adam Duvall in center. Oh, Duvall plays center field? It doesn't seem like the sort of guy that can handle center. No worries. Wilyer Abreu in left. Trevor Story batting 7th. Why is he batting so low? I know the average is low, but come on. Did you bring him to your team to hit 7th? He already hit a home run in the series. I'd hit him a little higher if I were you. Then you got Manuel Valdez at 2nd and McGuire doing the catching, batting 9th. On the mound for the Sox, Cutter Crawford. And doing the pitching for the Orioles is Kyle Gibson. I was going to say Gunnar Henderson because he just flashed on the screen. And like the superstar he is, I can't help myself. I get excited when I see Gunnar. Yeah, a good Orioles lineup tonight. Much more of a playoff-looking lineup. And, yeah, it makes sense because, again, it's a sellout crowd tonight. Yeah, you want to put on a show. Last night looked like, you know, they put out their weakest possible team. But it's understandable. It was the night after the clinch. A lot of guys drinking a lot of champagne. Guys like Gunnar haven't had a day off in a couple of months. So you can understand that. Right, so for the Orioles lineup, you do have Gunnar playing short and leading off. Adley will be behind the plate. Santander is going to DH tonight, hit third. Ryan O'Hearn's going to play in right field. So that's interesting. They're going to put O'Hearn in the field and Santander at DH. Mountcastle will play first. Cedric Mullins in center. Aaron Hicks will play left. Oh, I like that. Ramon Urias at third, and Adam Frazier batting ninth and playing second. So you've got yourself, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of 9 hitters batting from the left side of the plate against the right-hander. This is how the Orioles have built their team. And really, you have Mountcastle in here because he needs the at-bats. He's been on the DL for a couple of weeks and just returned like yesterday for his first bit of action. So I would assume he's going to start tomorrow as well to get him ready for the postseason. We need him. He's a huge bat, especially against any left-handed pitchers. But I'm thinking more about what our outfield is going to look like in the postseason, because typically you have Mullins in center, Hayes in left, and then Santander in right. And then usually O'Hearn or Mountcastle, one will DH while the other plays first, or Adley will DH, and depending on if it's a lefty or righty pitcher, one of O'Hearn or Mountcastle will take a seat. But I'd really like to see a great defensive outfield. And to do that, you need Santander to either DH or if he can handle playing first, which I wouldn't put him there. They tried it with him yesterday or the day before. It wasn't terribly bad. There was a particular play where he kind of bobbled a ball, but then he had the wherewithal to throw a runner trying to go second to third and made a nice throw there. So he's got some tools there. I just don't know if they're tools that apply to first base. If I had to choose between watching baseball or getting a root canal, I'd choose my big-boobed dentist. Well, I mean, that's not fair. What if your dentist was butt ugly? Then what if you're in the chair getting the root canal, but the ball game was on the TV? Could you tolerate that? All right, so the Orioles are wearing their orange tops tonight. Mr. Splash is out there in the bird bath. Here's the lineup being shown on the telly. Hey, DDH, if you're there, do you hear any of the actual game audio bleeding through my microphone, or you know, can you hear it in any way, shape, or form? I'm just trying to abide by all the rules and practices of YouTube and copyright and all that happy horse shit. Gibson's going to make his 33rd start of the season. He's got a 15-9 record, a 4.86 ERA. Got to be one of the more successful near 5 ERAs from starters this season. Didn't hear the Fox music. Okay, fantastic. So yeah, Gibson probably isn't going to make a start in the postseason, but what a job he's done in eating up innings during the regular season. And first pitch swinging from Verdugo is a pop-up foul back off to the left. Implied oral consent. That's a complicated phrase with a lot of different variations. Here's the 0-1 to Verdugo. It's over the plate, but a little low. 1-1. I say it's a sellout crowd, but I'm looking at the side camera view of the batter here, and I can see some green seats. Where is everybody? A little late. Oh, a nice breaking ball there. Swung on and missed. Verdugo caught out in front. A lot of movement on that changeup. Started at the knees and broke down into the dirt. Oh, right. But what is the definition of broadcast? Like, as long as I'm not showing the image or sharing their audio, if I'm calling a game that I'm watching on their broadcast, am I rebroadcasting? I don't know. I see a lot of channels doing what I'm doing right now. Here's a pitch fouled back. 2 balls and 2 strikes to the leadoff man here, Verdugo. And I can see already that I'm out in Thailand, so I'm watching the game, and I've got the box score up here, and I can already see I'm well behind the real time. It's a called strike 3. Verdugo caught looking, and he takes a look back to the scoreboard to look at the replay. He wants to see where that pitch was. I'll tell you where it was, my friend. It was at the top of the zone. And you should be fighting it off if you want to keep that at-bat going. Hey, thanks for the 2 likes, by the way, for something completely off-brand. Devers steps in. First pitch. Oh, that sounded really sweet off the bat. But it will hang up there in right field long enough for O'Hearn to camp under it and make the catch. So that's how you want to handle Devers. 1 pitch, 1 out. And 2 outs now in the inning. Have a good din, DDH. The normal absurd content that you're used to will be back Sunday night as per usual. But this coming week, I'd tune in because the following week, I'll probably be taking the whole week off. It's going to be my vacation because postseason time is here. Luckily, the Orioles skipped the first round, so yeah, I'll have this week coming completely free. No baseball at all. Turner fouls one back. And quickly, Gibson's ahead of him 0-2. 2 down here in the first. Gibson looking for a clean 1-2-3 inning. Hey, a third like. Look at that. Maybe this is what I should have been doing. Gibson's 0-2 pitch is swung on and fouled, tapped off to the left. Flashing up a record here. Orioles are 167 and 115 since the call-up of Adley Rutschman last season. 4th best record in baseball. Folks, if you keep thinking this is some kind of fluke, I don't know how you have a fluke that lasts 280 games or whatever it is now. You can't have a 280-game fluke, folks. I got to think about whether or not I want to keep this up here because it's sort of acting as a spoiler. I mean, no matter which one I use, it's going to update it faster than I see it. But I have seen that on other people's streams as well. But I know the inning is going to end 1-2-3 because this one's low and away. Oh, don't show me any images. No, baseball. No images. So, yeah, we got the Fox broadcast calling the game here. And it is interesting to listen to like a nationally televised Orioles game and listen to these announcers sort of talk about the team like, well, isn't this interesting? Like, how did all this happen? Well, if you've been watching them all year, you know exactly how it's happened. It's called the Oriole way. It's called fundamental baseball. It's called going from first to third, aggressive base running. Sound defense, capable, maybe not overmatching, but capable starting pitching. And everybody's leveled up. Bradish has leveled up this season. Rodriguez has taken his next step. Kramer has had his best professional season. And now we got back John Means. And boy, I really wish an Oriole fan would find their way to this stream because I really want to talk about what we're going to do with this rotation in the playoffs. Clearly, Bradish is your game one starter. There's no argument with that at all. I mean, it would be the biggest WTF moment if anyone other than Bradish started game one. But after that, I contend there's some debate. The consensus thinking is that Grayson Rodriguez would be our number 2, and I've been thinking that way as well, but the return of John Means has definitely, especially with that final start, and then I started to think, you know, if Means is already back to the John Means we know, and he can give us 6 innings, you know, unless he gets pounded, but that's the case of anyone. But I mean, as long as he's going okay, it looks like he's good enough for 6 innings. That makes him a starter in my book. And here's the thing, guys. If you're an Orioles fan, don't you want a left-handed starter in there when we have a game at Oriole Park? I mean, if we're going to have Means in the postseason rotation, wouldn't you rather have him playing or starting at Oriole Park versus away? Because with that left field wall and our dimensions, you got to think when Means starts, whoever the opponent is going to put in, a right-handed batter where they might have otherwise used a left-handed batter. I'd love to see our opponents stack up right-handed batters and try to take on Baltimore, try to take on that wall out there and left. Just like I love to see our team getting built with nothing but left-handed hitters so that we can ignore Baltimore and just go for the porch out and right. But yeah, we got Means. He looks good. We know what he can do when he's on top of his game. Anyway, let me get back to the action here. Gunnar Henderson's got a 1-1 count, and I can't even have this up. It's too much of a distraction. Let me go back to the box score. I gotta just keep focused on the game here. He fouls this one off, and it's 1-2. Henderson had a 257 average. Gone quiet for a couple of games, but he's definitely got the Rookie of the Year locked up. It'll be the first Oriole Rookie of the Year since Greg Olson in 1989. And the first position player, I believe, since Kyle Ripken Jr. in 82. So that's some pretty good company there. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Swung on and fouled back. He had a big cut. And he came out wearing a dirty Orioles hat. I've noticed this now. He's got a dirty hat that I guess I don't know when he started to do it, but I'm seeing him up at the plate right now with a clean helmet. But his in the field ball cap has got the same giant brown stain that it had a couple of days ago. Last night they had on their City Connect jerseys, so it had a different hat on. Oh, he scoops this one up. It could drop in. Right fielder coming in, second baseman going out, and Verdugo calls off Valdez to make the catch. Gunnar not happy with his contact there. He shakes his head as he goes back to the dugout. It's okay there, Gunnar. You got a few more at-bats here to show what you can do. I got a feeling he's going to get another day off tomorrow. Might come in to pinch hit. But yeah, yesterday was his first day off in 2 months, so I'd give him one more. We're going to need him for every game in the playoffs, surely. Adley steps in and takes a first pitch strike. Here comes the next offering from Crawford. And it just over the plate, but just a little bit low there. Count 1-1. And now the sunlight I can see is starting to creep into my room. I can turn off this giant halo behind me here in a minute. The 1-1 pitch is fouled back. The chant of "Let's Go O's" is going around the ballpark as the Fox announcers flash up some Jackson Holiday stats. Here's his stat line in the minors this season. 323, 12 homers, 75 RBI, 24 steals. Not too shabby. Here's the pitch to Rutschman, and it's on the outside corner, called strike 3. Oof. Looked a little bit wide to me, and Adley is known for his good batter's eye, but let's take a look at the replay. Where is this? Yeah, that caught the edge. About a third of that baseball was on the zone. Good pitch. Good location. Fair play. 2 out, nobody on. And Santander coming to the plate. Heading from the left side, the pitch. Just off the plate. Crawford went back out to the same place, but a little bit farther outside to see if the ump would give it to him, but no dice. 1 ball, no strikes. Santander on 28 homers. This time it's called a strike. Crawford working that outside edge. Now, there's an interesting stat being flashed up. It's showing Anthony Santander's average homers, RBIs, and Oriole wins versus what he does in Oriole losses. And yes, it's abundantly clear. When he produces, the team wins. When he doesn't, or when the team loses, he normally hasn't done much in that game. He takes a breaking ball in the dirt here, and the count is 2-2. And now I'm listening to the announcers on Fox have the same talk about our left field wall that everybody else does, which is, I don't know why they did that. They used to be, you used to be able to see so many home runs here. Like, if the only thing about baseball that interests you is the home run, play a video game. Play a video game. If you want to see exciting baseball that involves every other aspect of the game, plus we still hit home runs, then cool it and deal with our wall, because our wall is serving us well. Of all the walls that have been built, of all the famous walls, I think our wall is doing pretty well. And Santander swings and misses some high gas, and that's going to do it for the Birds here in the first. We're through one inning, and there is no score. And I'll just be gazing at my own Twitter page, see what's happening. If anyone might give half a darn. I was a writer for NBC Sports for about a decade, covering the Premier League, and more specifically, Fantasy Premier League. So I'm a huge follower of said league, Tottenham Hotspur supporter here. I also follow the MLS. And but things have changed. Things have changed during this season. I no longer write for NBC Sports, and with some other projects going on, including a startup YouTube channel, it sort of rearranged my schedule to where I could now, before I basically had to schedule everything around English football, and everything had to be on like UK time. But now that that's no longer on the plate, it opened up a chance to, check out some things that I might have neglected. And one of those things has been baseball. I guess I picked a good era to not be able to follow my Orioles as much as I've wanted to. But this year I've had the time to, and this magical season has taken place. And I feel like it's some sort of destiny or fate that I started up a YouTube channel, and then this Orioles team did what they did, and now it's all coming together. It's all coming together for this exciting watch along where I'm going to start eating my shrimp fried rice that's now room temperature during this commercial. Oh, I'll try and get off the screen as much as I can. All right, top of the second. Gibson coming in with a hook and a beauty on the outside corner for a called strike. Fox broadcast mentioning Brooks Robinson at the moment, as they should. Next pitch is tapped on the ground, backhanded by Mountcastle, and a toss to the pitcher covering to record the first out. Just like you do it in spring training. Mountcastle, kind of an underrated fielder, it has to be said. He's made some pretty athletic plays here just in the past couple of games, coming off that shoulder injury. Stepping in now is Adam Duvall. Here's the first pitch from Gibson. Fastball right in there, just off the outside edge. And it's 0-1. A lot of number 5 jerseys in Oriole Park tonight. They're never hard to find. This one's well outside, 1-1. Duvall steps in with a .244 average, 21 homers, 58 RBI. He mashes left-handed pitching, but against a right-handed pitcher with Baltimore, oof. This is precisely the style hitter that we wouldn't roster on our team, but we're happy to have in our opponent's lineups because, well, he did get into that one, and it's hit way back toward Baltimore, but it's short. I'm telling you, but it's going to turn into a triple. It wasn't played cleanly off that bounce, but let me tell you something. The point I was making was proven right there. Adam Duvall just launched one to left that would have been out in any other ballpark. He got all of it, but it hit off the top of the wall some 400 feet away. Unbelievable. I mean, probably about 5 feet to the left of the 398 sign, like 15 feet off the ground did that ball hit. And yes, unfortunately, the ball was not handled on the first carom, and it gave Duvall a chance to go all the way to third base. So with one out, it might wind up being just as good as a home run if the Red Sox can cash in here. Wilyer Abreu at the plate, and I'm looking at his stat line, and I'm wondering, why isn't this guy hitting a little higher? He looks like a September call-up, just 2 homers, 13 RBI, but hitting 329. Get this kid up in the lineup. 890 OPS. Might be a small sample size, but I mean, there's a reason the Sox are in last place. Maybe a hitter like this, higher up in the order, could do the trick. I don't know much about him. I'd like to see what he can do. He chops this one into the dirt and fouls it away, and Gibson gets it to a 1-2 count. So does Gibson have a strikeout pitch in him? Let's hope he does, with the runner at third and only one out. Looking for a way to... And you definitely want to go after Abreu here. Trevor Story's on deck, and though he only has a 200 average, he's a dangerous hitter. Hit a home run off of last night. Thursday night. Or was it last night? It's all a blur, folks. My sound went down a little? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. My sound went... Oh, my God, it did. Why? Why would it do that? Why would it go way down? What happened? Look at that. You know, I've noticed that it's done that before, and I've changed nothing, but yeah, look at that. I've got it maxed out here, and I'm afraid to keep it that way because if it does revert back to the previous setting, then suddenly I'm going to be blasting. But what can I do? Maybe I should unplug this and plug it back in. I would have a problem. Oh, by the way, I should be able to turn this light off behind me now. I'm going to go ahead and unplug my microphone. It's a full... let me just try to get this call in here. It's a big pitch, big play. My responsibility is to call the game. I apologize. It's a full count on Wilyer Abreu, okay? Still one out, runner at third. Abreu at the plate, now with a full count. A timeout to adjust the equipment. And now Gibson is set. And the payoff pitch is coming. Up and in, ball 4. Not even that close. All right, let me take a look at the volume here. Okay, see, now it's back. Now it's back. Hey, Maria, can you hear me? Ground control to Maria. Ground control to Maria. Is my voice back now, and are you hearing me? All right. That will give me a strike because I sound just like David Bowie. Right. So now we have runners at the corner, still one away, and Trevor Story at the plate. This is where we hope Gibson gets a ground ball. Thank you, Maria. Thank you for letting me know. It might happen again, but now we know that it'll probably just fix itself. You just got to wait a little bit. 4 likes. Wow. Maybe I should do this more. By the way, I want to X this out. I hate seeing an X in front of me when I don't need it. Okay. I'm fine. Oh, and I don't want to look to my left at this scoreboard because it's going to tell me what happens before it happens. He gets Story to foul one off here. 1 ball, 1 strike, 1 out, no score, top of the second. Runners at the corners. Gibson gets his sign. He's in the stretch. The pitch. Ooh. Try to go high in the zone. Try to get Story maybe to chase, but a little too high. And Story lays off. 2-1. You don't want to get into a 3-1 count here. I'd like to see a slider low and away. Oh, he goes for the high gas. Well, there you go. Maybe Story was looking for the same. He takes a big cut and he misses. Gibson went back sort of for the same pitch. This time a little better spotted. And Story swung on a miss. So we got a 2-2 count on Story. Brandon Hyde in his usual perch in the dugout. Gibson. I tell you, the way he's working, you'd never know there was a pitch clock. Here it is, and a sweeping slider. Strike 3. Got Story to chase. Oh, what a beauty. Story had committed his swing, and by the time the ball got to the plate, it was a 1.5 feet low and away. It was too little too late for Story. A huge strikeout, and now the Orioles can get out of this jam unscathed if Gibson can retire Emmanuel Valdez. Valdez steps in, hitting .261, 6 homers, 19 RBI. Those are the sort of numbers of yet another player the Red Sox are giving a shot to after a failed season. It's lined back to Gibson, who catches it right there in his glove. He probably threw it about 90, and the ball came back to him about 95, and he caught it. Inning over. The Orioles get out of that jam. And, boy, I tell you what, Gibson, you don't have any confidence in the man as a postseason starter. The numbers aren't there. He tends to give up home runs. But at the same time, he's a gamer. He's a veteran. I just wish we could find a use for him that was not just some low leverage blowout situation in the playoffs. I'm not sure what, though. I'm not sure what. He's not like a Jack Flaherty where it's like, okay, he's not good enough to be in the rotation, but at least Flaherty has the sort of stuff that if he's on, he can come in, punch a guy out. Now, Gibson, he just struck out a batter in a big spot when he needed it. Struck out 2 of the first 3 batters of the game. Has 3 strikeouts in 2 innings. But typically, not really known for his punch-out ability. More of a hit-to-contact guy. We'll see what role he does play. Again, I don't know. Right now, for me, what I want to see is Bradish on the mound game 1. I want to see John Means game 2. And then I want to see Grayson for game 3. And if we have to use a 4th pitcher for game 4, Kramer or Gibson, I got to go Kramer. He had a really good final start. But, hey, what if Gibson has a really good final last start? It's tough. If Gibson really shuts the door here, maybe I'll think about Gibson as a third starter. I don't know. I never thought I'd even be saying that. But here we are. Excuse me, as a fourth starter. Bradish means Rodriguez. Bradish means Rodriguez. Maybe I should try my John Sterling impression. The 1-0, and here it is. Swung on, and the Yankees win. Okay, we're in the bottom of the second now. Crawford's first pitch is low. 91-mile-an-hour fastball to Ryan O'Hearn. It's okay, Maria. Maria, if this is not your bag, it's okay. You don't have to listen. Baseball, to the what do you call it? Untrained eye. I could totally see why it's like, what is this? Okay, O'Hearn pops one up in the shallow left. Bit of an inside-out swing there. And who is that coming in? Abreu sprints in to make that catch. Maria, if there's anything you want to talk about, feel free. Just a conversation where you have to type while I get to just talk, which is how I like it. I hate texting. These thumbs are too big. All right, up now is Mountcastle, and he takes a big cut. Fouls it back, 0-1. So far, Crawford has looked pretty good. Retired the first 5 batters, and we're going to make it 6 as Mountcastle bounces it to second on a 1 hop. Routine play, and there are 2 down. So, yeah, that is 5 for 5 for Cutter Crawford. Up steps Ced the Entertainer, Cedric Mullins. He might be sort of my favorite player. By my ability to make story of any subject? Okay, challenge me, Maria, as Mullins takes a called strike. It's 0-1. We got a timeout coming up. Let's try a challenge. Give me a subject and let me see if I can dazzle you with my ability to make a story out of it. I need the practice. I am a writer after all. By trade, I'm a writer. I'm used to taking my thoughts and having the time to construct them in a really nice way. Go back, edit, make it look nice. When I talk, I'm a little more timid because I can't speak as eloquently as I can write. You know what I mean? Swing and a miss. Mullins is down. Crawford looks really good out here for Boston. Who's this kid? Makes short work of the Orioles here after 2 innings, no score. Yeah, Maria, I got a break. We got 3 minutes with no baseball going on. What's on your mind? What's your story, Maria? Don't feel compelled to give me anything personal, but whatever you are comfortable with. What's your story? Let's talk. This gives me a chance to turn that light off behind me. Hold on a sec. Yes, it is officially morning here in Thailand now. Not pre-dawn. Let's see. What does this look like over here? Yeah, that's plenty of light. I'm fine. I can turn that off. Okay. Some of my best stories, Maria, I've long forgotten. I've had a lot of good stories from my youth, like those sort of end of high school through college and early 20s period. Actually, probably all the way up to late 20s, working at the 930 Club in Washington, D.C. A lot of stories there. And then moving out here to Thailand the last 8 years. A lot of stories there. But there was about a 8 or 9 year window where there wasn't a damn thing going on. I guess it was called my 30s. All right, we're going to the top of the third. It's going to be the 9, 1, and 2 hitters due up for the Sox. Gibson on 32 pitches through 2 innings, 3 strikeouts, 1 hit, no walks. Looking good. Oh, I'm sorry, 1 hit, 1 walk. All right, so he's looking good, but my ability to call a game accurately is not. See, take a peek at the other scores here. I thought there was a way to... Oh, here it is. Take a look maybe at how the Rays are doing just for the heck of it. Oh, that Texas-Seattle game is underway. That's the game to monitor. No score going into the bottom of the second out there. And we're underway again here in the top of the third. First pitch is swung on and fouled away by the catcher, Reese McGuire. And the 0-1 from Gibson. He kicks and deals. Curveball swung on and lined in the right field, a base hit. Cut off out there by O'Hearn. Let's see if McGuire... No, he's going to take a turn, but hold there at first. As O'Hearn gets it back in. Leadoff single by McGuire, and now you got the top of the order up. O'Hearn checking a little card he keeps in his back pocket, I guess, to tell him where to take his position against which batter. Here is Verdugo. He takes a called strike. Outside corner. He struck out in the first. 1 of 3 Ks so far for Gibson. Through 2 innings plus 1 batter. The 0-1 pitch. It's hit on the ground. This could be 2. Flip to second for 1 over the first. 2, a double play. Just like you draw it up. Frazier with the flip. Gunner with the pivot and turn. And just like that, the bases are empty. 2 down. As you were. You gotta love it. Strikeouts, double plays. Rally killers. That's what you need in the postseason. That'll bring up Devers. Man, he has such a menacing batting stance. I would not like to look at that if I'm a pitcher. That's the batting stance of a guy who hits the crap out of a baseball. I don't know why more people don't look like this. Holding that bat high over his head. That front foot, almost 2 feet from the plate, like behind him toward first base. It's crazy. So we got a 1-1 count. Yes, Maria. There you go. There's a topic. With 2 out here in the third, I will give you the details on that. It didn't come through exactly the way I was expecting or would want, but I guess it came through. And again, I'll get into the details in a sec. Here's the 1-1 to Devers. Gibson taking every moment of that pitch clock, and Devers lines it in the right field, a base hit. So how big was that double play? A 2-out single and a runner at first. Devers with a solid contact, a rope in the right field. And again, huge double play. Yes, it is. It's 6:52 a.m. October 1st, Sunday, October 1st, 2023, here in Thailand. You want me to tell you what October is like? You want me to give you a heads up what October is going to be like for you, Maria? How about that, Maria? How about you give me at least, what time zone are you in? Give me a time zone. Give me a sense. Here's the pitch. The 1-0 is a called strike to Justin Turner, 1-1. Oh, Idaho. Here's a sweeping slider off the plate. Ball 2. You know, that's one area of the country I've never been is like Idaho, Montana, Wyoming. I wouldn't mind seeing that, like the Badlands, North Dakota, South Dakota. I wouldn't mind checking that area out. Are you living in your own private Idaho, Maria? Maria, weren't you? Maria, I'm glad actually. You left a load of comments on the last stream, and I didn't reply to them all, but it was almost as if you thought you were in the live stream. You left like many comments as if you were leaving them in the chat, but they're just comments that are maybe you thought I was live. I don't know. But yeah, you got to be here for the live thing in order for the comments to sort of have a impact on the proceedings. You know, I've neglected my job. It's a full count pitch to Turner, and he swings and lines it into left center field, a base hit. That'll get down. Mullen scoops it up. Devers trots to third as he was running on the 2-out full count pitch. So again, how huge is that double play? There's been 3 hits amongst the last 4 batters, and yet there's 2 outs and no runs have scored, and a chance to keep it no runs scored if you can get Yoshida here. Tell you what, Gibson just loves to just tightrope his way through a jam. Here's a high pitch. Adley Rutschman down to second, and he nails the runner. Oh, Gunnar slaps the tag down. The throw was to the third base side of the bag and high, but Gunnar was able to snare it and then smack the tag down, and Adley put so much on that throw that he had the time to get him. Wow. Another rally killer. Strikeouts, double plays, and throwing runners out at second trying to steal. I'll tell you what, the Red Sox, don't try to do that against us, okay? You're doing that against the wrong team. You got to play sound, fundamental baseball like we do if you're going to beat us. Right, so Maria, I do have a visa. It is for 1 year, at least theoretically, but what makes this different is what this visa looks like in my passport. It does not look like the typical visa I'm used to, because normally for a 1 year visa, you see that year end date, like September 2024, for example. This does not have that. It only has the date for the 90-day stamp, which is what I have to do every 90 days on a 1 year visa. I got to go to the immigration office, get a stamp. So 3 times in a year, I got to do that. But, yeah, and also a visa typically is, a sticker that has, maybe like a little emblem on it and some sort of official looking stuff, and it's rather clear. This is all just one big stamp. It's just a stamp and some squiggly signatures and a bunch of tiny little words that even if I could read it in Thai, I couldn't because they're so damn small. But yeah, I think I'm good. I think I'm good to go with my visa. Here's the fun part. So, like, Saturday was the last day the current visa, which was only good for 30 days, was valid. And at the end of the workday Friday, like around 4:35 p.m., I text them because I'm thinking, what am I doing? I'm going to wait until the last day when I go in and just ask, well, what happens now? So I sent them a text at the end of the day Friday, and I was like, look, it's the end of the day now. Tomorrow's the last day on my visa. Can you at least just tell me what's going to happen if I don't get my visa tomorrow? And then an hour later, I get a text back that says, your visa is finished. It's here. Which makes me believe that they knew that before I texted them. And knowing how things had worked out in the previous conversation where they're telling me don't worry and you're worrying too much and all this. Well, apparently they couldn't be, considerate enough to let me know when they got my visa. I had to be the one to contact them. Anyway, that's all hopefully all done with. And I went there the minute the office opened yesterday morning because, frankly, I didn't want to see the person I was texting with, and I figured that they wouldn't be there right at the beginning because they're like the boss, and, the boss never shows up on time. They always stroll in late because they can. So that worked out. Right, so first pitch swinging, Aaron Hicks pops up and fouls out. 7 up, 7 down. I tell you what, if this is a audition for our postseason lineup, we got to wake up here. We got a sellout crowd. We got our best hitters in there. We're only doing this because we want to keep them fresh and we want the bats to get hot because the bats have been cold here this last week. We still find ways to win. The pitching has saved us. But I'd rather have good pitching and good hitting versus like extremely good one or the other while the other is extremely bad. Give me a little more balance. I want to win a game like 6-2, not 1-0. People playing a lot of smart jokes nowadays. In what way, Maria? Oh, this one's bounced away, but nobody on base to worry about. 2-1 on Ramon Urlias. Ramon Urlias. The 2-1 pitch. Well, that was that was weird. Cutter Crawford. It looked like he sort of... When he went back to throw that baseball, kind of like wiggled his pitching hand in the middle of his pitching stride. I don't know how to describe it. I'm noticing it a little bit more now. Maybe I haven't really been noticing. This is the first time I've seen this guy pitch. So there's that. But he does seem to have a little bit of a hiccup with his delivery, and I can see how that can really be off-putting for hitters. Yeah, I see it more now that I'm looking for it. He's got a little shake with his... It's strange, because normally you want to conceal the baseball as long as you can. Don't let the hitter see what you got until the very last moment. But he sort of holds the ball up for the pitcher to see, but kind of holds it with his hand like this. And then he does a little shake while he's sort of starting to kick his leg and throw it. It must be a timing mechanism. I'm not sure, but man, I can see how that can throw off a batter. It's kind of hypnotizing. I mean, imagine you're in a batting cage in the pitching machine. Like you're looking where the ball comes out of, like it just sort of does a little shimmy before the ball comes out. And it'll throw. I would imagine that would throw you off. Here's an 0-2 to Frazier. That's outside. 1-2. 2 down, nobody on. Frazier, the final batter to get a plate appearance. With 2 out in the bottom of the third. That's when you know the offense is not going well. And yet, no harm, no foul. It's a 0-0 game. Anybody's ball game. The 2-2 pitch is slapped into right center field. That'll get down for a hit, and it's going to roll all the way to the wall. Urias will glide into second with a 2-out double, and the Orioles have their first base runner of the game. And with the extra base hit, the sprinklers are on. Mr. Splash is at it again in the bird bath. And finally, this crowd has a little something to react to, at least from the hitting side. with a 2-out double here from Frazier. I might have said Urias. Excuse me. Now I know why I would have been a terrible. I wouldn't have got out of, A-ball, calling an A-ball game. Too many mistakes. Imagine being able to call a game and get like 99.9% of everything you say exactly right. The statistics, the players' names, and how you pronounce them. My God. It is not an easy job. Okay, we got Gunnar Henderson up, 0-1 count, and he lifts a fly ball fairly deep in the left center, but there's room out there. And Duvall makes the catch to retire the side. But hey, the Orioles get off the mat, at least in terms of something. Not runs, but they got their first base runner. A 2-out double for Frazier. But he is stranded at second and will head to the 4th inning with no score. Whew. The one time I say, let me give myself a try at this whole play calling / reaction thing, and I tell you what, it's not easy. It is not easy. Yoshida, Duvall, and Abreu due up in the 4th for the Sox. Plus, it's like I can't whip around and do other things. Like right now, normally I would, be surfing through my typical sites, taking in some other content between innings and all that. I do have this. Why is there a delay on this? It's like there is like a 5-second delay after I tap a soundboard bite. These ones are more instantaneous, but these, okay. All right, there you go. Fantastic. Good stuff. I'll probably have to go run and take a smoke break in the next half inning. Ah, man, playoff baseball. I tell you what, am I emotionally prepared for this? You just gotta. You bought the ticket, you got on the ride, Steve. This is wherever the card takes you, that's where you're going. All right, here we go. Top of the 4th. Gibson's first pitch to who's up at the plate? I don't know, but it's fouled off to the left side. Wait a minute, a backhanded attempt. Oh, near the screen, Urias couldn't quite make the play, though. It's Yoshida at the plate, excuse me. You got all kinds of ghost things controlling your devices. That sounds scary as hell, Maria. The last thing I want in my life are ghosts that are in control of my stuff. It sounds like a horror film. A little bit of a delay, but we're back in it here with an 0-1 to Yoshida. Gibson's delivery, and this one's line. Oh boy, I tell you, Gibson just serving a high, slow-looking pitch. Was that a fastball? I don't know, but it looked like it hung up there forever, and Yoshida almost couldn't help but hit it hard right into center field for a leadoff single. So what is that, 4 hits in the last 6 batters for Gibson, despite not giving up a run? Things are very lucky right now. If Gibson gets into early trouble, and we are in a close game here, we're not scoring a lot of runs, so we can't afford to give up many. Oh, wait, we could have another double play. Gunner to second. Urias to, oh, no, Frazier to first, but he's off the bag. They do get the lead runner, though, and it would have been a tough turn had the throw been on the bag, but it's still a decent result for the Orioles here. You've never gotten a direct message on any of your social media. Have you ever sent a direct message to any of your social media? Sometimes you have to give to receive. So, still a runner at first, but now a different runner on the fielder's choice. And with one out, the batter is Wilyer Abreu, who takes outside for ball one. Top of the fourth, no score, one out. Game number 161. So you send messages to people, but nobody replies? Well, I'm replying, aren't I? Here's a ground ball foul off to the right. Yeah, social media is tough, Maria. I mean, Facebook, I feel like, has been psychologically damaging for me. And it's hard to believe that I've been signed up to that thing for going on like 17 years or something. I mean, it had to have been like 06, right? I think it was about 06 when I started on Facebook. But, with the way that website has developed over the years, and when I say developed, I mean ruined. You sit there initially with Facebook, and it's like, hey, you know Facebook? Oh, yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah, like sign up, yeah. And everyone's like friending everyone, and then everyone's like, I don't know, the conversations used to mean something. Now it's just garbage. And the thing is, they set their algorithms to like make some people look like social media like pariahs and princesses, and then others are just like purposefully just kicked to the curb in their algorithm. I've posted some things on my Facebook where they've just gone completely ignored. Time after time, I'll have like the same 3 or 4 people reply, and then, yeah. And then once in a while, like maybe once or twice a year, I'll be like, hey, you other like 87 friends that never replied anything, like, reply to this, or I'm just going to cut you off. Okay, what are we doing here? Are we friends or are we not friends? Like, you're not obligated to constantly interact with me, but Jesus. Here's a fly ball to left. It backs up Hicks. He makes the catch. Runner retreats to first. There are 2 down. And that retires Abreu. Trevor Story comes to the plate. He's 0 for 1, which lowers his average now below the Mendoza line at 199. Just what you want out of your big free agent addition from last season, right? A solid 199 average. This one's chopped foul off to the left. Hits up against the tarp out there. Oh, they're showing a diagram of how the wall in Fenway would look compared to... Oh, wow, that's interesting. That is interesting. They did an overlay of the Fenway Park dimensions on the Oriole Park. You think Satan is rerouting your incoming messages? Ah, man. Yeah, I know it's tough for people. I mean, it's just too bad. I mean, I know it's done terrible things for mental health, social media. Here's a ground ball to short. Gunner with an easy flip to Frazier to get the force, and that retires the side. So Gibson, by some miracle, through 4 innings, giving up 5 hits and a walk, has yet to get touched. 4 shutout innings. Not 4 convincing shutout innings, but 4 shutout innings nonetheless. I'll be right back. You ladies want to come over here and do a double blowjob with my cock and balls? I'm leaving that option available. I'll have it set. Okay, I'm a little late. They got you in bubble wrap. 0-1 on Adley Rutschman here to lead it off in the bottom of the 4th. Next pitch is foul back 0-2. You had some trolls calling you on the phone, so you quit answering it, but they haven't hit you up your emails. Well, Maria, I don't know. You and I might have different ways of handling things. I never answer my phone unless I know who it is that's calling me. Never. Because anytime that I would, it's never a good thing. It's either a solicitor or something. If it's something important, they're going to contact me in some way. I don't answer my phone. It's been that way for a while. Hell, even back when I just had a landline, I didn't always answer my phone. The pitch to Rutschman is outside, 1-2. Next offering is upstairs, but Adley chases, fouls it back. I'd really like to see a rally get it started here. Try and give this sellout crowd something to cheer for. Next pitch, another foul ball. Maria, the best thing I can say is, even though it's somewhat hypocritical, because here I am, I'm streaming, I have a YouTube channel, I'm clearly connected to the internet. Swing and a miss. Rutschman strikes out. For the most part, I do stay off the grid. You know, I tend to stay off the grid. I'm one of those people that were smart. Like back in the day when like Facebook would be like, hey, take a quiz to find out which Game of Thrones character you're most like. And I would have friends do that. I'm like, don't do that. They're just mining your data. They're mining your data. Every one of those things you click on has a little thing that says, I agree to this or that. You don't know what you're doing. It's going to wind up giving you headaches down the road. Santander has an 0-1 count. And the count evens up at 1-1 with a high fastball. Crawford's next pitch, outside, 2-1. And this one's fouled back. Count even up at 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Marlins on the verge of clinching. A win or a loss by either the Cubs or Reds will do it. Diamondbacks also knocking on the door. A win or a Reds loss will get them in. Meanwhile, the Cubs and the Cardinals, or the Cubs and the Reds, basically have to win out, and they need help. Here's the 2-2. Swung on and missed. My God. Cutter Crawford is carving his way through this Oriole lineup. That's his 6th strikeout here in the bottom of the 4th. And he's only given up the 1 base runner through, what is that, 9, 10, 11, 12 batters? 12 batters, retired 11 of them. He's dealing. 2 down. Here's O'Hearn. Takes a called strike. I mean, just peppering the strike zone, and the Orioles can't make contact. They are. O'Hearn gets into one, left center, but it's hanging up there. Plenty of room for out number 3. So there you go. 4 very eventless innings of offense for the Orioles. Wow, I picked a real gem of a game to call. We're through 4, no score. I'll be right back. I love waking up early in the morning. Well, I don't love it when it's 4 in the morning. I love waking up around 6 in the morning. But around 6, 7 a.m. here, there's a nightclub across the street that I have direct view of from my balcony. And it's a nightclub that goes all night. So every morning, as is going on right now, it's kind of funny to watch all of these kids pour out of a nightclub that they've been partying and drinking in all night long. And at the same time, you'll see some Thai monks sort of quietly passing through. doing their morning rounds. You see a little bit of everything here in the morning in Thailand. All right, here we go, top of the fifth. Gibson set to start here. Valdez at the plate, and he snaps off a nice curveball for a called strike one. And the 0-1 pitch is chopped foul. I know it doesn't look very appealing to drink out of a bag like this, but keeps the condensation from going crazy. Gibson's next pitch is inside, and the count 1-2 on Emmanuel Valdez. He calls for time, rubs his eyes with his fingers, which are covered by batting gloves. I can't imagine rubbing your eye with your batting glove leads to good results. But let's hope Valdez has something in his eye. Here's the 1-2 pitch coming from Gibson. And here it is. In the dirt. In the dirt, 2-2. Upstairs, and the batter checked his swing according to the third base umpire. The count goes full. You'd hate to see Gibson lose the leadoff man again. There's only so many times you can do that. Here's the pitch, and it's grounded back up the middle, and Gunnar fields it with his bare hand, but not in time. Gibson, I think, got a glove to the ball to slow it down, and that might have caused what would have been an out to turn into a hit. Yep, actually, it looks like it might have hit off his leg. And I do apologize. That's Urias on the play. He was shaded so far over, he was in the shortstop position. And now the trainer's coming out to look at Gibson's leg after the ball struck him. PBS. Wow, the nonprofit broadcast company? Public Broadcasting System? I love PBS. Reading Rainbow, Electric Company, Sesame Street. Gibson's gonna take a couple of tosses here while Brandon Hyde looks on, see if he's okay. Trolls ain't getting through to the mainstream media, I guess is what you mean. Either, only letting it through to Hollywood. Trolls are everywhere. And they'll never go away. You just got to learn how to live and coexist in a world that has trolls. You know, if you got internet, there's trolls. I remember way back in the early days of dial-up internet when you actually had to pay per hour to join like a AOL chat room. It was ridiculous. I actually knew somebody. She wasn't a close friend, but she was in my circle of friends. We were all in college at the time, and she had blown her entire college tuition on chat rooms. But yeah, I remember I used to be a bratty young, youngster. I would go into, like, say, a Harley Davidson chat room, and I would just troll them. I'd be like, Suzuki motorbike, the Japanese motorcycles are so much better. They're so much cooler. Harleys suck. And then everybody in the chat room would just lose their minds. And then I would just laugh. So back in the early days, I was doing a little bit of trolling. It's always going to be around. Right, so leadoff man now is looking at a 1-1 count, that being McGuire. They're showing us the Oriole bullpen at the moment. Nobody is straight up tossing. but a couple of guys looking to be stretching a bit. The 1-1 pitch is served out into left field and into the glove of Hicks for out number 1. Kyle Gibson, what can you say? He's not going to dazzle you too often, but so far he's been effective. But again, if this were the playoffs, what are we doing? We got Gibson on the mound and we can't score. This is not going to end well. We can't. This recipe isn't going to work forever. We need the bats to wake up and give Gibson some run support here. He checks the runner back safely. That's the first disengagement. With who is that on first? Valdez. A sellout crowd. But it doesn't feel like postseason atmosphere, it has to be said. I feel like that's why the Orioles are playing a bit tight, at least when they're hitting. I feel like this crowd can get a little more amped up and provide this team the energy, the same energy the team has given us, that we need to kind of give it back to them with this sellout crowd. I feel like that's what's missing here. Here's the 0-2. It's in the dirt. Here's a shot of the 2023 Division Championship logo that's been, how would you put it, emblazoned on the wall in the outfield. 1-2 pitch to Verdugo. And where was that, ump? That caught the outside corner. That was right there, and the umpire just shrugged it off. You know, with the way things are going, we can't afford to let a strike get called a ball like that. That would have been strike 3. Instead, it's a 2-2 pitch to Verdugo. Instead, a second check on the runner. So that's it. If you try it one more time in this at bat, you better pick him off. So that will increase this runner's chances of going now. On a 2-2 count to Verdugo. Swung on and chopped foul. Fox announcer saying the biggest hole in the Orioles right now is their inexperience. And I really have to disagree with this whole inexperience argument. I don't get it. Like, do you mean the same inexperience that a team like this should never be coming close to winning 100 games with? That inexperience? You mean the same inexperience that has led to not being swept in a series for nearly 2 full years inexperience? By the way, Gibson strikes out Verdugo with a high gas. I don't know what the attendance will be like tomorrow for the final game of the season, the Sunday afternoon game, especially, you know, with football and everything. Oh, this is a ground ball base hit up the middle. Mullins fields. He throws it into third. Runner was moving. And now a run at second. Good base running. Orioles try to get the lead runner, and that allowed the hitter, Devers, to come in behind and take second base. So a base hit, and now we got runners at second and third for the Sox, but there are 2 down. So another chance for Gibson to get out of this inning, unless maybe Brandon Hyde has ideas of taking him out now, because, again, how many times are you going to walk this tightrope? He's on 75 pitches. I do believe he will face Turner here, but Yoshida, the lefty's on deck. So if Turner were to cash in, or if Gibson were to walk him and load the bases, I could definitely see Hyde yanking him here. So this is a big batter for Gibson's night, and whether or not he'll continue. The first pitch is outside, ball 1. 7 hits for the Red Sox without a run here in the 5th. At some point, that's got to get psychological on them. They're like, when are we going to cash in? This is getting annoying. The 1-0 upstairs, 2-0. And Gibson now suddenly looking like he has some command issues. I really feel like we need to count our blessings that Boston doesn't already have like 3 or 4 runs on the board, and we need to look at replacing Gibson here soon. Here's the pitch. It's fouled back. 1-2. Excuse me, 2-1. A rhino raid? Whoa. Oh, you guys are in for a treat. This is my first live play call. It's the Orioles taking on the Red Sox, and the big pitch from Gibson is just a bit outside. 3-1 now. In case, thank you for subbing. How you doing, everybody? Rhino, thanks for the raid, man. Yep, I got up super early, like 4 a.m., and I'm like, you know what? This game doesn't have a whole lot of meaning to it, and yet it's a sellout crowd. Let me go ahead and stream it. Here's the pitch. Popped up. Just what you want. Gibson's going to get out of yet another jam with a fly ball to center field. Mullins tosses it into the stands. Oh, QVC will be back, Sanj, for Sunday night. Sunday through Thursday nights, 10 p.m. to midnight. That is my typical brand. That's what I normally stream. But be in store. I might be doing more of this stuff. Look at that. My like count has doubled since the raid. Thanks so much, guys. So we're between innings here, halfway through this one, no score. And, yeah, anybody here, if you're a baseball fan, talk to me. Let's talk some Orioles baseball, please. I mean, if you want to talk about other things baseball, that's fine, but I really want to talk about these Orioles. If you've been following them, I got a lot of things I want to discuss regarding how they're going to set themselves up here in the postseason. Maria finally has some company. Technically not my first sports stream. I recorded the final 6 outs of the clinching game 2 nights ago, so it's just like a half-hour long broadcast. Marcia probably wants nothing to do with this. Yeah, I got a feeling most people that watch my normal stream aren't really sports fans. There aren't too many people out there who like weird humor in sports. I don't know why. I'm a bit of a rare breed. But yeah, how about this game here with Boston now? 5 innings. They've got 7 hits. And they couldn't scratch across a single run yet. Kyle Gibson doing his best David Blaine impression, apparently. Well. All right. Oh, extremely weird, card crazed. Imagine this. Imagine 2 hours a night watching home shopping networks and making entertainment out of that. That's what I somehow do on a 5 nights a week basis. It makes no sense. There's no reason for what I'm doing to ever be a successful stream, but I'm doing it anyway. All right, the bottom of the 5th's about to get started. Crawford with his first pitch tries to hit the outside corner, but misses just off the plate to Ryan Mountcastle. 1-0. Orioles need to get something going. Just one base runner off this guy. Oh, there's a hard hit ball, but backhanded at short on a bounce, and a nice toss across by Story to get the fleet-footed for his size Ryan Mountcastle. Hey, how you doing, Richard? Yes, that's right, everybody. Rhino. A good new friend I've made through the internets. Doing a very nice thing, bringing some folks over. What were you guys watching before this? College football or what's happening? Cedric Mullins steps in and he looks at a pitch outside. Want to know? I tell you what, for a 235 batting average, you're not going to find a much better hitter than Ced Mullins. Oh, he ropes one foul. Got out in front of that one. Count 1-1. Cutter Crawford has been absolutely fantastic tonight. This is the first time I've seen him pitch. Here's a swing, a hard hit ball on the ground to the right. Picked up by the first baseman, flips to the pitcher covering, just like you do in spring training, to get the fleet-footed Mullins, and there are 2 down. I tell you what, sellout crowd. You know, this 100-win season, where for most of the season, the attendance didn't exactly reflect the attendance of a 100-win division-winning team. And yet, here they are now, sellout crowd. Brandon Hyde puts out, you know, a playoff caliber lineup. No days off for anybody. And here we are pretty much getting shut down by one Cutter Crawford. 6 strikeouts through 4 2/3 innings. Here's Aaron Hicks. First pitch swung on and missed. Oh, the Canadian Football League. Oh, how's that going there, eh? Here's the next delivery, and once again, Hicks swings and misses. My God, who is this Cutter Crawford guy? He is dealing. The home plate umpire comes out and takes a look at Hicks for a second. I'm not sure what that was about. But we're back and ready here with an 0-2 pitch, and I take that back. The catcher puts up his hand, calls for time, and trots out to talk to Crawford. Interesting. These two have been completely in lockstep with each other tonight. This Boston battery. I don't know what they could possibly be talking about. Everything's working for them. And we do have some action in the Oriole pen. Zimmerman, who just got called up today to replace the, I'm not sure if he was DFA'd or what, but the Pablo Lopez reunion has officially ended. He's been taken off the roster. You won't be seeing him in October. The 1-2 to Hicks is a called strike 3. My goodness. Hicks thought it was inside. He just drops the bat, drops the helmet. The body language on this Orioles team, not looking good. Not looking good. Well, if we are going to have a stinker, let's get it out of the way now. I tell you what. But, man, you really do want to see them go into the postseason on a high with some momentum. But then again, what do you do when you get a bye? You play your last game Sunday, and you don't play again a game again until what? What is it, the 7th? What is that, a Friday? Is that right? Or no, Saturday. Is it Friday or... I think it's Saturday. I don't know. Let's take a look. ALDS schedule. All right, Wild Card Series. Here we go. Division Series ALDS. Yes, Saturday the 7th. So we're talking about Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. 5 full complete days off before Game 1. How do you keep a team like with that mid-season form ready for Game 1? I kind of worry about that. Yeah, it's nice to be able to skip around. I'll tell you what isn't nice, though, having the best record in the league and probably going to be facing the second best record in the league in our first round, which makes no sense. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? I tell you what we can do. Start hitting. 1 for 16 with 7 strikeouts. That's the entire team's production so far tonight. This is not good. I feel like I'm calling the 2019 Orioles right now. So, how's everybody doing? Boy, those raids, it's like an adrenaline rush. It's like, whoa, here's 4, 5, 6 people all saying hello and hitting like buttons, and then suddenly, all right, Bruce Zimmerman is now on the pitch. He's got Yoshida up there, the lefty, just as I thought, by the way. That was Gibson's final batter either way, with Yoshida coming up. So it's the top of the 6th. We got Zimmerman out there to eat up some innings. I'm really not sure why. I really want to see Jack Flaherty. And there you go. A lined base hit. This is not good. I don't know why we did this. Why did we bring in Zimmerman? If you put out a playoff caliber lineup, why would your first move to the bullpen be like the bottom of the depth chart guy that you just called up today, as if he's just in there to mop things up in a meaningless game? I mean, it is a meaningless game in terms of how things... I know, PAS. I feel like I'm watching the Mets. This is tough. Now I understand how your job is so tough. This one's fouled off 0-1. So Zimmerman, so far looking like Gibson, just the left-handed version, with giving up the leadoff hit. And now he's 0-1 to Duvall, who, as far as I know, crushes left-handed pitching. His splits are... And now we got a wild pitch all the way to the backstop. Yoshida glides into second. Why did we bring in Zimmerman? Why? Again, why? This was the spot for Jack Flaherty to come in and see what he can do for maybe like a 2-inning stint, which is exactly the sort of role we might use him for in the playoffs if he were to make that roster. But if you're not going to give him the opportunity... I mean, we know Zimmerman's not going to be on the roster. I don't understand why they're bringing him in this situation. Either way, here we go. This ball's over the plate, but low. 1-1 now, the count on Duvall. Gibson didn't look good tonight, okay? He gave up base runners in every inning, but I think the first, and was very lucky to somehow dance his way out of there without a run. But as soon as you bring in Zimmerman, it's like you can just feel it. And there you go. Oh, that's a foul ball. My God. Duvall roped one down the left field line, but it was foul, only just. By the way, guys, I do have this handy-dandy scorecard or lineup card and everything here, and it does update. I don't look at it. So if you're looking at that, you know the result of things before I see them. That's the drawback, I guess, from being way out here. I guess my feed is a little bit late. And now another, it's a strikeout on a pitch in the dirt. They'll have to throw to first to complete the out. And Rutschman does just that with Yoshida holding at second. So there you go. A strikeout, one away, runner at second. ALDS starts next Saturday. My God. Okay, so for me, that's Sunday morning. That is Sunday morning. Well, we'll see. I don't know if they'll have a day game and a night game that day or what. First pitch to Abreu is swung on and missed. Is that true, PAS? I think I've seen it be a little bit behind, but only a couple of seconds. Mine feels like it's about 3 full pitches behind. Here comes the 0-1 to Abreu, and he chops it foul off to the right. Zimmerman's ahead 0-2. Hopefully Zimmerman can get settled in here after that opening hit. Yoshida roped a single off of Zimmerman as soon as he got into the game, but since then, a strikeout, and now 0-2 on Abreu. Abreu took a little bit of a timeout there to collect himself. Back in the box, Zimmerman in the stretch, the pitch. Good breaking ball and gets the batter swinging and missing. Adley applies the tag as it looked like it might have caught a bit of the ground. Yeah, and they work super fast. You know, I always kind of wanted that job when MLB.com first started doing like the whole game day thing with the live, you know, play-by-play updates of all the action. Like, I would love to have a job like entering that data. It would be high stress. I'd feel like air traffic control, like just entering all that info. Here's a ground ball, but it's going to dribble foul off to the left. Yoshida heads back to second after taking off on contact with 2 out. And the count 0-1 on Trevor Story, whose average currently sits at $1.97. That's not quite enough to buy 2 things off the 99-cent menu. You need 1 more penny. This is concerning. I don't want to see Zimmerman give Story anything in the zone here with a base open. Here's one fouled back. He got ahead of him 0-2. Okay. Can we dance out of yet another inning where Boston strands at least 1 runner in scoring position? They've been doing it all night. No runs on 8 hits. And they just showed us a Boston fan couple sitting in the crowd. They look bored off their ass. The Oriole fans are waiting for something to cheer about. PAS, that might have something to do with, yeah, there's something with my microphone going on. Yeah. Something weird with Mike. Second time the volume dropped. It reverted back to normal after a minute. Hang in there. Hang in there. Hang in there. Hang in there. I'm sure it's going to get back to normal here in a sec. Then I'm going to get really loud. I'm sure PAS smashed that like button already. Hey, PAS! Oh, that's what I did last time. Yeah, I should do that again. Hold on. Okay, I'm going to unplug it. Hello. No, that didn't do it. That didn't do it. I just got to wait. By the way, Zimmerman induces a ground ball to end the inning, and the Orioles get out of yet another jam. How are they doing this? I hope we pitch like this in the playoffs, but I hope we can score in the playoffs. That's the end of the top of the 6th. We're still scoreless here at Camden Yards. And yeah, I do apologize for my audio. I would try to yell. Thank you, PAS. Yeah. Let me see here. Look out! Look out! Look out! I'm telling you, it's gonna get back to normal here, like it did last time. Come on, you little son of a! What makes it do that? Just in the middle of broadcasting. Not messing, not fiddling with any settings, and suddenly the volume just drops. It's very annoying. extremely annoying. I can only hope that things will improve before the top of the next inning. Can you hear me at all, PAS? Like, if you're still there? Like, how bad is it? This sucks. This happened, like, in the first half hour when I was doing this. And, like I said, it got better again after about maybe 2 minutes. 1 to 2 minutes. But that much time has already passed, and it's still the same shit. I don't like it. I don't like it. Now, what I could do is remove this entirely and then reinstall it. You know what? I'm going to give it a try. Should I try it? Should I try that? Hello? All right. Folks, stand by. Hello, hello, hello. That didn't help either. Wow. Well, hopefully things will improve soon, or maybe I'll just have to talk super loud, even though it's before 8 a.m. where I am, and I don't want to wake up my neighbors. We are in the bottom of the sixth, and a 1-1 count on Urias swung on and popped up behind short into the outfield, and now the left fielder calls him off to make the catch. One down here in the sixth, and the Orioles, again, with what, one base runner all night? One base runner all night? What is going on? Somebody get this Cutter Crawford guy out of the game. 5 1/3, 1 hit, no walks, 7 strikeouts. He's killing us. Upstairs to, who's in there? Is that Frazier? 1-0 on Frazier. I'm looking at my microphone again. Still the same shit. This one bounces in the dirt, and the count 1-1. Or excuse me, 2-0. Frazier has the Orioles' only offensive spark, a 2-out double in his first and only other at bat. This one's grounded to second on a hop. Routine as can be. 2 down. My God. Just. What the hell? Okay, maybe I will never do this. Maybe I'm bad luck. Maybe I am bad luck. If this is the sort of result I'm seeing if I do a stream. Microphone's not working the right way. The offense isn't working the right way. Crawford, by the way, only on 73 pitches. He could go into the 7th easily. This one's inside on Gunnar Henderson. A 2-0 count on Gunnar. Okay, Gunnar, look to dial one up, man. Look to dial one up. You got a 2-0 count. Here comes the catcher, by the way, to talk to Crawford. That's the second mound meeting in a game where these two have been on the same page as well as you could hope. Just dominating performance here by Crawford. How's this? Still not working. The pitch outside, 2-1. I don't expect anyone to be following my stream at this point if my microphone is this low. Swung on and hit in the air. Center field, plenty of room out there. Kind of the same area Gunnar went shooting for in his last at-bat. It's a harmless fly ball at the end of the day. And at the end of 6, 2/3 of the way through this game, the Orioles are scoreless on a single hit, a single base runner. We head to the 7th. Yuck. All right, I guess I got to fiddle with my microphone while I have a chance. I'll fiddle. I'm fiddling. Do I just need to shimmy the USB port here? A little shimmy? What if I turned it on and off here on the actual microphone? What if I did that? Now it's back on. And that did nothing. Unplugging it did nothing. Turning off the microphone itself did nothing. Removing the audio input on the software and then re-entering it did nothing. Nothing from nothing, get nothing. You got to have something. I tell you what, at this point, I think I'm just going to roll a joint. If nobody can hear me, I might as well save my voice, roll a joint. Sheesh. That's my device. The microphone is... All right, I'll tell you what. I can just do that. Does that do anything? It shouldn't. That's not even the same model. This is my microphone. What's default? What's default do? Hello, 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 hello. Why? Why? Why ask why? Try Bud Dry. Uh-oh. What happened? Hey, what happened? Hey, what happened? Oh, well, it looks like Crawford's getting high-fived in the dugout, which would imply that his night is over. I really thought he could go another inning, but I am not complaining at all. Go away, Cutter Crawford. We'll get 3 innings to try and get some offense going against somebody else, and that's all we can ask for at this point. Zimmerman's back out there, and a bunt is laid down. Adley fields it brilliantly on a hop in front of the plate and gets the speedy Rafaela, who was in there to pinch bunt, I guess. Wow. That is the kind of play that just gives you another reason to go, yep, that's why he's a #1 overall pick. I mean, he fired a bullet to first, and he had to. Rafaela very disappointed. He's not used to getting thrown out on a bunt. All right, 1 out. And Zimmerman coming in there, what is that, a little front door slider? Nice little pitch there to catch the inside corner to get ahead of Reese McGuire here, 0-1. And the next offering is up and in, but McGuire goes after it and pops it up on the infield. Easy play for Gunnar Henderson, 2 down. How's my microphone looking now? It still hasn't fixed itself. Why? I don't know why. Lock volume, unhide all, rename, vertical layout. I don't know. How does the maximum volume just drop? Come on, man. I have to scream to get this into the yellow. This sucks. Huh? What are you going to do? Here we go. First pitch strike in there to another pinch hitter there, Reyes. Pablo Reyes. Another right-handed batter coming in for the lefty Verdugo. The 0-1 is a breaking ball in the dirt. 1-1. That was nice to get that raid from Rhino and to see PAS here as well. I only wish I could have delivered a better product, but everything's in the experimental stage when it comes to calling ball games here. Here's a pitch high, 2-1 on Reyes. Swing and a miss. He chased one outside. Count even up at 2-2. Activity in the Boston bullpen. It's Winkowski getting loose. Which Rico is that, Maria? Rico Suave? Which Rico? Are we back into politics? What's happening? Right now, I'm worried about one thing and one thing only. A crappy microphone. A crappy microphone. That same problem earlier, Maria, where my voice was low and then it went back to normal. Well, now it's low again. Here's a ground ball to third. A barehanded attempt, but Urias could not hold on to it. And the batter will reach on the infield single. So a pinch hit infield single for Reyes. And with 2 down, the Red Sox bring up their most dangerous hitter in the form of Rafael Devers. I wonder if this could be Zimmerman's final at bat or batter with Turner on deck. Because if Devers gets on, Puerto Rico, our 51st state. First pitch to Devers is high for ball 1. Pair of singles tonight for Devers. He's still sitting on 99 RBI. I'm sure he'd like to drive a run in here, or at least by tomorrow, to get to that century mark. Holding that bat over his head. Here's the 1-0. Swung on and fouled back. Rico. La. Suave. Come on. Come on with my microphone. This is nonsense. How is this as loud as it goes? I'm screaming and I can't even get into the yellow. It's killing me. Here's the 1-1 to Devers, and a nice breaking ball swung on and missed. Devers was fooled there. And he steps out of the box, takes his helmet off, kind of scratches his head, and goes, yikes. Zimmerman gets the sign. He's in the stretch. And the 1-2 pitch is swung on and lunged at, grounded a second. They thought about going a second. Instead, they'll get the out at first to retire the side. And it is 7th inning stretch time in Baltimore. Your score, Red Sox 0, Orioles 0. Boy, I know how to pick the games, don't I? Here's a game with no offense and a game that has no actual bearing on anything for the season. This has got to be the most boring game to cover, and I thought it would be a good one. Actually, I guess for that reason it is a good one. If I'm going to practice this and make all kinds of mistakes. Is RICO an acronym for something? I don't know what you mean by RICO. I'm sorry if I should. Does that stand for something? I really don't know. I don't know if I can grant that kind of permission, Maria. I'm a bit of a loner. I don't think a hero should be wasting their time on me. There's a lot other people out there that need the help of a hero more than me. I'm a bit of a lost cause. It will be Adley, Tony Taters, and O'Hearn due up in the 7th. Maria, you're getting. This is starting to feel like those AL chats back in the early 2000s. I'm not a breath taker. I'm really not. I'm a man of many flaws, Maria. A man of many flaws. I can be a good friend, but a terrible spouse. I can be a good provider to children, like an uncle, but I'd be a terrible father. It's the whole ultimate responsibility thing, which I can't handle because I can barely figure out how to handle myself. I am a bit of a mess, but I'm self-aware of the mess I am, and I've figured out a way to kind of operate around my shortcomings, but I wouldn't want to burden my shortcomings on anyone else. It's just, yeah. Too many emotions. I got a chronic, what do you call it? A chronic illness. What do you call it? Pretty much gone. What are you talking about, Maria? Maria, I feel like Maria, you're feeling down. Like something's bothering you. And I'm not gonna just dismiss it like, hey, cheer up, chin up there, Maria, because I know things can get tough. But look, you're here now. We're chatting. You got to take those moments when things don't suck so bad and get the most out of them, That's all I can do. I have days where I might have a 5-minute window of joy in an otherwise miserable day, but I focus on those 5 minutes. Here's a base hit by Adley to lead things off here in the bottom of the 7th. There you go. You took Cutter Crawford out of the game, and the first batter has now doubled our offensive output, and Rutschman's going to get pinch run for here. Almost as if Brandon Hyde knew he'd do it even before the inning started. If Rutschman were to get a leadoff hit, they're going to bring in Jorge Mateo. It's an interesting move because you're basically burning 2 spots here. You're taking Rutschman out of the game. You got Mateo in there to pinch run. Unless McCann comes in to hit for somebody, which I don't see why with a right-handed pitcher out there. Whoa, this one's way inside. It almost hit Santander. Then, yeah, I don't know why you're going to run Mateo. I mean, Rutschman's a pretty good base runner. He's not going to steal you a base normally like Mateo can. I could see us being down a run and doing this move. I don't know why to do it right here. Santander, by the way, is struck out in his first 2 at-bats. Here's the 1-0, and he catches the outside corner at the knees, 1-1. Yeah, Maria, taking care of oneself is a job. Is that a rhetorical question? Like, I know what bothers you, or are you asking me if I know what bothers you? I'm not sure. This one's fouled back. 1-2 on Santander, and the crowd making a little bit of noise. And by the way, Flaherty is getting warm in the bullpen, so maybe we will indeed see him in this. Perhaps he'll come out to start the 8th inning. We'll have to see. First, it's a 1-2 pitch to Santander, swung on and hit hard but foul. well foul, but it was just a little bit late. Otherwise, he had squared that one up. Ballpark's starting to make a little bit of noise here. Here's the 1-2 to Santander, and another foul ball. Man. I tell you what, if the Orioles pull this win out, it's just another one of those kinds of wins where it's like, how did they do it? It's amazing. If one aspect of our team struggles, it's like the other parts pick up the slack. Santander somehow gets a piece to stay alive, and we're still 1-2. Well, with a long at bat like this, it's giving Flaherty plenty of time to get loose. Winkowski has a sign, and the pitch. Breaking ball, foul back. Actually, was that a fastball? 87. It didn't have movement like a slider or... I'm not sure of this pitcher's repertoire, but that almost looked like maybe a high slider that didn't break. And this time Santander turns on one, but hooks it foul. This is a long at bat here. And it's still only 1-2. An 8-pitch at bat with only one ball. Santander has fouled off what? At least 6 pitches now? Here comes the next pitch. In the dirt, and he swung at it. My God. Tony, how did you not see that pitch? I said in the dirt before the ball even got to the plate because out of the pitcher's hand, it was just spiking downward, and I don't know why Tony was swinging. My God, that ball hit the dirt 2 feet in front of his bat. Yeah, you're not going to want to go back and look at that one, Tony. 1 out, and a called strike on Ryan O'Hearn. I like to see O'Hearn go deep here. It's been a minute since O'Hearn's jacked one out of the park, and he's got good power. The runner's moving, and such a huge lead that Mateo is in there standing without a throw. So Mateo was kind of camping out at first. That long at bat with Santander, he never took off, and then just when the pitcher might have started to forget about him, Mateo picked up on it and took that bag with ease. I mean, do you want to do that thing where you steal third on the very next pitch? This one's low and in. I tell you what, if he did take off, that would have been a tough ball to handle and then throw down to third for the catcher. Jorge Mateo will be the Dave Roberts of the Orioles postseason. You can count on it. He will come in, pinch run, steal a base, and be the winning run in a ball game. It's going to happen. This one's low. And now a hitter's count for O'Hearn. This is what you want. This is where I want to see the Orioles cash in. We got a 3-1 count with probably our best hitter against right-handed pitching at the plate in terms of contact, and the fastest runner on the team at second. Here's a pickoff throw. It's close. That was close. I want to see a replay. I want the safe call to stand, but my goodness, Mateo almost caught off the bag. They slapped the tag down, and wow, the fingers do just get back in, it would appear. Man, that was close. Only the height of the throw was the difference, having to slap the tag down. O'Hearn tries to get one down the right field line, but it's foul. Everyone piling onto you for a ride. Oh, Maria. All right. It's do or die time here. We got a full count. The payoff pitch to O'Hearn is swung on and fouled back. 97 on the gun. Maria, there's an industry for that sort of thing, you know. If you want to make a little cash. Another 3-2 pitch to O'Hearn. This one is swung on and missed. Wow. I heard a sound that sounded like contact. It might have been a foul tip. Either way, O'Hearn is retired. Another strikeout by these Orioles batters. That's the 9th of the game. So 2 down, and it'll take a 2-out hit from Mountcastle to get this run in. And the first pitch is grounded. Foul. Oh, he almost got it in. Hitting it the other way down the first base line. But, I want to see that replay. How close was that? The way the Orioles have been going this season, that's just the kind of hit we normally get. Instead, it finds its way down the right field line. Foul. 0-1 on Mountcastle. 2 down. Mateo with blinding speed at second. The 0-1 pitch is a breaking ball line. Base hit! Base hit down the right field line. This one will get into the corner. Mountcastle will turn as Mateo is easily in to score. Mountcastle with the RBI double, and the Orioles are on the board. How's my microphone doing now? Is it back? No. But who cares? The Orioles have finally broken this one. Well, I can't say broke it open, but finally got things going. An RBI double for Mountcastle. It was a high pitch, and he did a nice inside-out swing to take it the other way. Didn't try to do too much with it, but did the right thing. Mullins comes in. The sprinklers are on. 1-0 Orioles. If they win this game, looking for win number 101. And they are happy out there in the bird bath. You would think if people got problems, they should take it up with whoever is in charge. I haven't yet cleared my cell. Simple inquiry to whoever is in charge. Maria, I got to be honest. I'm kind of not following what you're saying. I'm not quite sure what you're talking about, Maria. Something to do with your cell phone? Are you talking about social media still? 2-0 on Kjerstad, who's in there now to pinch hit for said Mullins. That's an interesting move. You take a lefty out, and you bring in a lefty to pinch hit for him. We'll see what Brandon Hyde had in mind later, I guess. Swing and a miss by Kjerstad, 2-1. Mountcastle at second. 2 outs. The pitch. Grounded ball. Backhanded ball. Oh, and it's dropped by the second baseman. He tried to transfer, and the ball dribbled away, and it's going to allow Ryan Mountcastle to score all the way from second. We'll see how they rule that. It would have been a tough play. It was a long way to go for the second baseman. He got to the ball, but on the transfer, not only did he bobble it, he booted it 10, 15 feet away from himself. He had to go chase it down. And Mountcastle, running the whole way, scores from second without even a play. The Orioles now lead 2-0. How about that? Here's Aaron Hicks. In there, called strike. Fastball at 97. Mountcastle put his head down and never stopped running on that play. God, that is such an Oriole way about how they play. Hit in the air to shallow left. Hicks is already disappointed with his effort, and that is going to end the inning. But the Orioles finally wake up the bats. 2 runs on, I believe, 3 hits. One by Rutschman, one by Mountcastle, and one by Kerstead. And the Orioles, after 7, lead 2-0. Maria, I feel like you're speaking to me in code, like I need to decode the message. I don't have my little orphan Annie decoder pen with me. And I totally forgot the entire Da Vinci Code. Let's see what this looks like here. Wow, 2 other people are watching this. Thanks for the other 2 people. Again, bit of an experiment for me. Not my normal brand. I do reactions typically Sunday through Thursday nights for some pretty bizarre content. Home shopping networks, vintage TV commercials, old weird game shows, weird viral videos like pre-internet that have been uploaded. All kinds of stuff. So if you came here for the sports, I appreciate it. And if you want me, if you want to see what more I do, come on by the stream Sunday through Thursday nights. I promise I'll have a microphone that works better. I really don't know what's going on. Okay, I'm going to unplug it again and see what happens. This is really upsetting. I have a feeling if I just shut the stream down and restarted it, that would fix it. But then there goes the stream. So unplugging my microphone now. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Not the thing that I wanted to happen. Nothing's happening. Really annoying. Really annoying. Okay. Jack Flaherty has started the top of the 8th, and his first pitch hits Justin Turner. That's it. Take him off the roster. Just get him off the roster. Honestly. That's your first pitch? What the hell, Flaherty? Good chance you get no answer. Can't risk it. Man, again. I feel like I'm getting the second half of sentences. Like I'm getting predicates without subjects, Maria. I don't know. No answer to what? Maybe we have a lag issue between us. Next pitch to the next batter is about a foot outside, and I really don't know if I can sit here and watch Jack Flaherty pitch like crap. And after we just took a 2-0 lead. Well, he got Yoshida to chase one in the dirt. That helps. Yoshida 2 for 3 on the night. laced a single back up the middle in his last at bat. Swing and a miss. Okay. Flaherty looks a bit wild, but effectively wild here with his last couple of pitches. And Yoshida liked what he saw, but came up empty on 2 swings. Count now 1-2. Runner at first. Nobody out. The pitch. Upstairs. And again, just nothing anywhere near the edges of the zone. I'm really not sure why Yoshida went up there trying to hack like he has. The 2-2 is fouled away. That looked like a pretty good pitch. Looked like a cutter that was bearing in on Yoshida on the inside corner, and he fought it off to keep the count at 2-2. Flaherty gets his sign. He's in the stretch. Doesn't even look at the runner at first, by the way. Who's at first? Turner? Okay. Turner, not exactly a base-stealing threat, but if you're not even going to look over there, I just don't like that. There's things about Flaherty that just jump out at me like, dude, what? You're not doing things the Oriole way, man. Here's the 3-2, and he got a called strike 3 on the outside corner. Yoshida not happy. It looked like it painted the corner. Maybe Yoshida felt, yeah, okay, that might have been 1 ball off the corner. Flaherty might have been given a gift right there. And what a gift it is. That's a huge first out after hitting the first batter. And now another breaking ball that, man. His pitches have a lot of movement, but they start out of the zone and they typically end out of the zone. So as a hitter, you're just sitting there like, wow, that's an impressive pitch, but nothing I would ever want to swing at. Swing and a fly ball to left. This is going to drop down for a hit along the line. Let's see if he tries to go for 2. No, in fact, the runner at first only gets to second, and Turner. Station to station for the Sox. Runners at first and second with only 1 out. And again, that ball was right down Broadway. I mean, Flaherty is either missing 6 inches off the plate in some direction, or he serves up a cookie like that. I can't with this guy. I just can't. Yes, he has strikeout stuff. But unless you're maybe bringing him to face like 1 batter and flipping that coin that he'll strike him out, you can't rely on him for any length of time, it would seem. And yet, oh, nope, you can only get 1 run at first. Okay. A ground ball fielded by the first baseman. He tags the bag. Both runners advance. Second and third now. Tying runs in scoring position for the Sox, but they're 2 away now. I look like I'm frozen on the screen over there. How's the microphone looking? Please work again. Oh, come on with this microphone. God damn it. I kind of want to just give up on this, but I'm too far committed. All right, the first pitch here to Story is just off the plate outside, 1-0. Red Sox tonight are 0 for 7 with 8 men left on base with runners in scoring position. Could they possibly leave 10? Swing and a miss. If Flaherty could just find that, he's got the stuff. I just feel like a lot of it is his mentality. Excuse me. Here comes the 1-1 to Trevor Story, up and in, ball 2. Lovera, the righty for Boston, getting ready for perhaps the bottom of the 8th in the bullpen. The 2-1 pitch is low and away, 3-1 on Trevor Story. Now, to be fair, you have a lighter hitter on deck in Rafaela. And Story can definitely hit a 3-run homer more likely than Rafaela, but Rafaela's got a lot of speed. And that can be dangerous too with the bases loaded. Story fouls us back. The count is still full. Runners at second and third, 2 out, and the Orioles holding on to this 2-0 lead that they only were able to accrue a half inning ago. Can they hold on to it? Sellout crowd in downtown Baltimore here on Saturday night, the next to the last game of the season. Out in the bird bath, fans are standing. It's good to see. The payoff pitch is swung on and fouled back. My goodness, Flaherty. Now he's having troubles putting batters away. And I couldn't help seeing out of the corner of my eye that the Red Sox are indeed about to score. I've already spoiled it for myself. Flaherty is not making this postseason roster. Base hit right between second and... Oh, it is an infield hit. It is an infield hit, which makes it just the 1 run. It could have been 2 runs, but Westberg did well to keep it in on the infield. Is that Westberg? Did he come in for Urias? Or no, he came in for Frazier, excuse me. So yeah, Mateo pinch ran and is now at short. McCann is the catcher, hitting in Mountcastle's space. Kjerstad is in left field. Hicks moves from left to center. Urias moves from third to first. So, yeah. And Henderson from short to third. I mean, like 6 out of 9 players moved around somewhere. Oh, feel free to play, Maria. Rafaela is 0 for 1, and since coming into the game as a pinch hitter, he tried to bunt his way on. Rutschman made a nice play to get him. Here's a fastball right down the heart of the plate for a called strike, and it's 0-2. Flaherty going after Rafaela here. We can get out of this inning still with the lead if Flaherty can put Rafaela away right now. The 0-2 pitch is swung on and fouled away. Jack Flaherty, our big deadline day acquisition. I tell you what, I wish we could have gotten somebody like Savali, like the Rays did. But alas, upstairs, 1-2 now on Rafaela. 22 pitches already for Flaherty here in his first inning of work out of the bullpen. Not what you want to see. Here's a check over at first, a cursory toss. Nothing behind that throw on Flaherty. Just a little something maybe to give him time to collect himself, or not sure. 2 down, runners at the corners. The 1-2 pitch is a pitch out. Wow, maybe they thought the squeeze was on? Very interesting. It would have been an interesting play by Boston. You have to think that might have been something they thought about doing. But in the end, it just goes for ball 2. Now a 2-2 count on Rafaela. You got to put him away here. That ball is just off the plate outside, and that's the difference. You know, if Flaherty is pitching the way he should, he nips that outside corner, and he's walking back to the dugout right now. Instead, now we got a full count. How am I fighting? The only fight I'm having right now is with Jack Flaherty on the mound because he is not doing the kind of thing I want to see. Every batter is getting 6-7 pitch at bats. He can't put people away. I mean, he got that one strikeout, which was nice. But this is getting a little too 3-2, 2 out, and another foul ball. My goodness. I mean, this is stretched all the way. Tying run at third. Go ahead run at first. 2 down and a full count on Rafaela. Well, I got my face here. You can go over the Discord here if you need a face. We got Discord stuff. And this ball's in the dirt for strike 3. Oh. Swing and a miss on the pitch in the dirt. I'm sorry. And Rutschman has to throw down to complete the out, and he does to get the speedy Rafaela to end the inning. My God, Flaherty gives up a run, but thankfully at least maintains the lead. Honestly, if the plan was to see him pitch 2 innings, I don't want to see it. 1 inning was enough. He pitched over 20 pitches. He struggled. And now we got a 1-run lead. Go ahead and get Cano warmed up for one more save opportunity. Now that the news has come out earlier this evening that Felix Bautista is indeed shut down for the rest of the season and postseason and will undergo Tommy John surgery, rendering him out for the entirety of next season as well. It's tough. It's going to be tough. Who are we going to turn to as our closer next season? Do you try to get Cano to nail that job down? Could somebody like D.L. Hall develop into a closer? He's got the stuff. Typically, left-handed closers aren't always preferred, but, you know, the Billy Wagners, the John Francos of the world, there's been great left-handed closers. So I wouldn't mind that. Oh, I mean, for the Orioles, you only have to go back to Zach Britton to find a really good left-handed closer. Maria, just, just checking. You imbibing in a little bit of the old devil's lettuce over there right now? What are you doing? I've got enough voices in my head as is. Bottom of the 8th coming up. Yeah, that's better. That way I don't have to see my face again here in the middle. There you go. I can see when the raid happened. That must have been the raid right there. Boom. And then they got the hell out of there. But apparently that got me a new sub. Let's see. What am I up to? 224? What are we on? 224 now? There it is. 224. First pitch here to... Who's that? Urias leading off here in the bottom of the 8th is fouled back. The MLB needs more former players on their payroll. No way they should have been approved to move back that left field wall. They have more lefty switcher than any other team in baseball. Former? I don't know what he means by this. Oh, and 2, the count on Urias. The pitch is low and away, 1-2. Urias bounces it to short. Backhanded by Story. He flings it across in time. Nice play there for the first out in the bottom of the 8th. Can we find a little bit of insurance here before the 9th, or are we going to win yet another one-run game? One of our trademarks. Oh, maybe not your physical head, Maria. It's more your mind, and your mind can hear whatever it wants to hear. If people were to say I hear voices in my mind, that would be a little more accurate, but you know how etymology works. An expression comes out, people pick it up, they use it, and then you're just stuck with that. Yeah, but come on, Maria. Haven't you ever had a dream where you remember specific dialogue, people talking in your dream? Your ears aren't involved. Your mind can make sound. It can. It's all in your mind. Your mind is able to make anything. Your mind could stare at a blank wall and say to yourself, no, I see a tropical beach. I can see it right now with my mind's eye. We got a 2-2 count on Westberg here, making his first plate appearance since coming in for Frazier. He's hitting .263. I did not notice who came in a pitch here for Boston. Oh, it's Livera. That's right. He was warming up. Westberg adjusts everything. Bat, helmet, gloves, pants. I think he's good to go now. Livera's pitch is swung on in the line. Base hit left field. In front of the left fielder there. Gets down on the bounce. And Westberg with a solid single. Does the little turn on the faucet motion. And the Orioles have a base runner. Yes, they do. Westberg's got a little bit of speed in him. He might be able to swipe it back, but he might not have to as Gunnar Henderson immediately ropes run down the right field corner. Westberg will get to third and stop there. It's a double for Gunnar Henderson. And with one down, the Orioles have their insurance in position with second and third. Westberg at third. What do deaf people hear? Probably the same stuff blind people see, Maria. Again, the human brain is an amazing organ. We are able to sort of fill in the cracks and gaps of things. We don't always have complete information when we process things in our brains. We work with incomplete information, but our brain is able to make the connections. Any deaf schizophrenics? Wow. Well, I don't know, but if I knew someone who was schizophrenic, I would probably want to be deaf, so I wouldn't have to hear the madness. Blind, deaf schizophrenics. Was that Helen Keller? I don't know. At least 2/3 Helen Keller. They're going to pull the infield in with one down, and Mateo at the plate. The pitch is in there, a called strike. This would be a great spot for Mateo to at least get the runner in from third via a fly ball or maybe a tapper over to the right side. This one's low. The catcher got into a position as if he was going to try and check the runner third. Mateo went into a crouch, but catcher had a thought and said, no, I'm going to hold on to the ball here. 1-1 on Mateo. Again, the infield in on the infield grass. The pitch. Way outside. Catcher had to backhand it to prevent it from going to the backstop and allowing a run to score. Wasn't it a ska band from the early 80s, Maria? The Blind Deaf Schizophrenics? Here's the 2-1 to Mateo. There's a ball right in the middle of the plate, but Mateo can only chop it foul. Nice. Maria, are you doing a little bit of the old LSD right now? When's the last time I dropped acid? That's a good question. From the ages of like 17 to 21, 22, it was a pretty normal occurrence. I'm wondering, though, if after like 25 or so, if I ever did it again. The 2-2 to Mateo is grounded, and it is... Oh, Westberg is safe. Sorry for the terrible call, but it was all very fast. With the infield in, a grounder to second. They went home, but Westberg took off, and the initial call is that he's safe. Let's look at the replay. It was bang, bang. But hopefully, yeah, that is a legit run. He slides to the outer part of the plate. Let's see if there's any sort of tag here. No. Oh, what a beautiful slide. Perfect. Perfect. That's a run. 3-1 Orioles. And Mateo does get it done. Somehow. Even with the infield in, the Orioles score anyway on a ball back to the second baseman. And now you got his speed at first. Still only one out, and the Orioles got a chance to maybe make this a comfortable game after flailing for so long at the plate. And again, it was a beautiful start for that Cutter guy. 6 innings of absolute dominance on the Oriole lineup. But now it's a different ball game. The pitch. Swung on a miss by Santander. He had warehouse visions there. Tony, I'd love to see you hit a 3-run jack. But, you know, a fly ball for a sacrifice RBI is pretty good too. Give us that 3-run cushion. I mean, a 5-run cushion's great, but a bird in the hand is worth more than 2 in the bush in this situation, if you ask me. Just make sure you make good contact and get that runner in from third with 1 out. But Tony wants to dial one up. Here comes the 1-2 from Lavera. And nope, he's going to check Mateo back to first, and he's upstanding. So that feels like a wasted disengagement. You throw over to first to check on one of the fastest runners in the league, and he is so not far off the bag that he can just step back on the bag without diving. The 1-2. Hit in the air. Tony, did he get it? Oh, it hooks foul. And a nice catch out there in the walkway between the sections. There's a very excited Oriole fan out there. Okay, you can put your glove down now. We get it, dude. It's not, you get like 5 seconds of applause and adulation. After that, you're finished. Don't make this the best moment. Oh, that ball hit Santander, or did it? That was a crazy play. So Mateo steals second base. Henderson held at third. And so is that 2 steals now already? Yes, it is. Mateo up to 32 steals on the season. Not bad for a guy probably playing about half a season. This guy would have 60-plus steals if he played every day. The pitch. That one's crushed into right field, a base hit. 1 run scores. Here comes Mateo. The play at the plate. He's in. It's a 2-run single for Anthony Santander, and the Orioles have what they want, a nice 4-run cushion here in the bottom of the 8th. The Bats are alive and kicking. 5-1 Baltimore. Nice level swing by Tony there. Roped into right field. And with Gunnar at third and the speed of Mateo at second, you knew those runs were coming home. Here's O'Hearn now. And he takes a called strike. Geez, that looked pretty low. And the 1-0, or the 0-1, excuse me, is way outside. 1-1. So this is Orioles baseball for you. This is why we play 9 innings. This is why you get 27 outs to get your act together. It took about 22 outs for things to start moving, but here we are. The 1-2 is, just a bit high. Santander at first, 1 down, and 3 runs in already. The pitch swung on and fouled back. 2-2 to O'Hearn. Lavera gets a sign. The pitch. Swing and a miss on a ball low and in. O'Hearn has not looked comfortable at the plate tonight, it has to be said. 0 for 4 with a pair of strikeouts now. I'd say go ahead and let him get another game in tomorrow. Try to find that stroke before we head to the playoffs. He's a huge part of our offense. And the batter now will be, is that Brian McCann stepping in for his first appearance since coming in during all the moves that saw Rutschman pinch ran for, and then McCann came into the lineup replacing Ryan Mountcastle in the 5-hole. 225, 6 homers. The average isn't impressive, but McCann has done a fantastic job as the Orioles' number 2 catcher. And this one's grounded as short. It's a routine toss to second for the force, and the inning is over. But the Orioles, after finally opening the scoring with 2 in the 7th, Boston got one back to make it a 2-1 game, and then they responded with 3 runs to make it a 5-1 game as we head to the 9th. 3 outs to go for win number 101. And my God, are you telling me? No. Is that true? No. Flaherty wouldn't. Who would be in the line for the win here? The guy before Flaherty, right? Zimmerman. Zimmerman would be in line for the win here. And with a 4-run lead, what do? You go to who you think you would want to close as if it's a save situation? Because right now, we're sort of closing by committee. And I guess that's how we're going to do things. What? Okay. I can't imagine that either, Maria. I've never thought about it. That sounds like some sort of product maybe you can buy on TJC Beauty. Some sort of telepathic sex toy. I don't know it. I don't know. I don't know. What I do know is I need to get something rolling over here. It's time to prepare for the rest of the day post game. Well, hey, look at Air Supply. They're making love out of nothing at all. So they got that going for them, which is nice. So for the Red Sox, physical hallucinations. Physical hallucinations. Hey, why not? Every time I see a dunk attempt in the WNBA, it looks like a physical hallucination. Okay, so taking the mound for the ninth, it's Jacob Webb. How about that? Making his 54th appearance, 3.59 ERA. Has been one of the fine midseason additions to our bullpen. Been mostly pretty darn reliable. Definitely has earned his spot on the postseason roster. First pitch is a bit outside. Check swing at third. And the count is it 1-0 or 0-1? It looked like the ump. I suppose it is a ball one. 1-0. Hey, Maria, no need to thank you or thank me. Like, this was something I wanted to do. I'm happy you wanted to hang out. I'm sorry baseball isn't your thing. Here's a strike on the outside corner, 0-2 to Reese McGuire. 1 for 3, singled in the third. If Boston wants to rally, they're going to want to get this leadoff man on with the top of the order due up right after. Foul ball. Still no balls and 2 strikes. So, yeah, I think the biggest takeaway from this game tonight is that Jack Flaherty, along with Fujinami, just simply not reliable enough. Simply not reliable enough for the best team in the league's bullpen for the postseason. At this point, I'm thinking, what do you do? You're going to have Grayson and Bradish. Grayson, Bradish, Means, Kramer, Gibson, Hall, CNL, Colomb. Those are your lefties. Webb, Cano. Who am I forgetting? Let's see. Who am I forgetting? Tyler Wells, of course, with his new role. This is tap back to the pitcher, flip to first, and there's the first out. Here's an update on what the postseason bracket looks like, and nothing's changed. The Marlins appear to be locked in to face the Brewers in the first round, with the D-backs and Phillies squaring off. The winner of that has to take on the Braves. The Orioles are lined up to face a division opponent. Toronto and Tampa will likely square off. Winner plays the Orioles. Meanwhile, in the other bracket, the Central winning Twins will likely host Houston, but Houston likely the favorite in that series, and the winner will then take on the Rangers. 1 out and a 1-0 count now on, who's this? Let me get this back up. Reyes back in there for his second at bat since entering the ball game. And this one's fouled back. 1-2 on Reyes. 1 out, nobody on. Top of the 9th. Orioles have built up a 4-run lead and looking to cash in win number 101 with only tomorrow afternoon left to play. Welcome to October, everybody. Welcome to October. Here's a ground ball deep in the hole at second, and Frazier's diving attempt could not stop it from getting into right center field. It's a base hit. A 1-out single for Reyes, and the batter now, Rafael Devers. Yeah, I'm not even sure if I ever figured out that whole, like, getting to first base, second base, third base thing. That whole analogy. I think I know. But I also kind of wonder, maybe the order of things is wrong. I think second base is actually better than third. Am I crazy? I don't know. Third might be better than a home run. One and one the count to Devers. Runner at first, one away. Pitch is low and fouled back. Devers went after it. Here's a little tribute now. Graphic up here for the Fox broadcast regarding Adam Wainwright. Got a picture of him when he was a rookie next to a picture of him now. Other than the beard, he's kept his youthful appearance for the most part. Here's a swing and a miss. Webb strikes out Boston's most dangerous hitter, Rafael Devers, and he does it with the gas. It was a challenge fastball, and Devers was not up for said challenge. 2 down here in the 9th. 1 out away from win number 101, and the crowd are on their feet. Maria, it has been a blast hanging out with you tonight. Thanks for being here through most of it. First pitch is low and away. But, yeah, once we get the final out here, I am done. That's a long, almost 3 straight hour stream without even a bathroom break or nothing. It ain't easy. The pitch. Line into right field, and it'll drop in there. A base hit. That gets runners on first and second. This one isn't quite over yet, folks. This does make it a save situation now, quote unquote. So, if it were about getting a stat, this would be the time you'd bring in the closer, but the Orioles aren't quite built that way. And Webb is in there to face the lefty Yoshida here with 2 down. The pitch is swung on and missed. Yoshida 2 for 4 tonight with a pair of singles. He needs to get on base to bring the tying run up. The pitch up and in. He took a big cut and he missed. Wow. A wild swing at a pitch he really should lay off. I mean, again, his job is to keep the line moving. The tying run is on deck. And it looked like he was trying to tie the game when he can't tie the game. It's an 0-2 pitch. This could do it. Fouled away. All right, Maria, you have a good night. The ball game is wrapping up here in a minute. I'll be back with the typical stream on Sunday night, 10 p.m. Eastern, unless something happens. And this could do it. Fly ball into shallow right center in no man's land. It's going to drop. It will drop in. And 2 runs are going to score. Excuse me, only the 1 run. 1 run scores. Yoshida does, in fact, keep the line moving, and now the tying run is coming to the plate. Runners at second and third and 2 out. It's never easy, is it? That ball was not hit hard, but it was in no man's land in right center field. You had both the shortstop and the second baseman converging with the center fielder and the right fielder. Absolute madness. So here we go. Now it's sort of hold your breath time. Adam Duvall at the plate. He came so close to homering in his first at-bat. That really was a huge play, and one that I sort of called before it happened, which was, here you got a guy who's known for his right-handed power, but right-handed power in Baltimore isn't necessarily a positive thing to have if that's sort of your game. And Adam Duvall knows it because he hit a ball that would have been out in any other park by some degree. Animals don't date, they get married? What? Okay. I'm not sure what that's in relation to, but okay. Good to know. Right. We now have an 0-1 count on Adam Duvall. Second and third. But the man that counts is the man at the plate. He's the tying run. And it was swing and a miss. Duvall chased a slider off the plate. And once again, the Sox are down to their final strike. Can Webb put this game to bed? Can he put it to bed? I think he can. I think he can. The 0-2 outside. Well off the plate. Batter had no reason to even take the bat off his shoulders. 1 ball and 2 strikes. To Adam Duvall. 2 down in the 9th. Tying run at the plate. The 1-2 pitch is swung on and tapped in front of the plate. Back to the pitcher, and Webb will throw out the runner. Ball game over, and the Orioles are in the win column. 101. It is getting hot in here. The Orioles have a 101 fever, and that moves this season up just slightly ahead in their franchise history records. I believe they had a precisely 100 win season in 1980. So this team is now past that. They're one of the top 5 regular season teams in the history of the franchise. You're looking at them. 101 wins and guaranteeing at minimum a finish of 40 games over 500. What a turnaround, folks. 2 seasons ago, 110 losses. Now sitting on 101 wins. And how do you not back this team in the playoffs, at least until you get to the World Series? I understand the Braves are the Braves, but you can't tell me there's another team in the American League that is going to just dispose of the Orioles like it's no big deal. Like if somebody does that to the Twins, I can understand it. We're not going to just, first of all, you're not going to sweep us. Nobody sweeps us. I mean, famous last words, just asking for Murphy's Law with that comment, but it is the truth. We don't get swept. So now that we're in the postseason, that's a good trait to have, knowing that if nothing else, we're not going to get swept. So if we go down 1 game, if we go down 2 games, don't lose faith. Know that we're always in it. Okay, that's going to do it for me. Thank you, Maria, for being around for a long time. I hope you have a good evening. And, yeah, come on back for the Sunday stream where you got a little more company, okay? And don't be shy. Comment. You're commenting way more tonight than you normally do on the normal stream when I'm doing a baseball stream. So, yeah. And again, anybody watching this, right. Okay, Maria. I'm wrapping up now. Good to see you. Final score: Orioles 5, Red Sox 2. Hope you guys are ready for the postseason. I'm not sure how I'm going to handle maybe doing some more streams for these games in the playoffs. I might do it simply because, I don't want to feel too alone in this journey. But at the same time, I'm the kind of person that when things are really like emotional and pressure filled, like I do want to be alone. Like I want to hide under the covers. You know what I mean? So I'm not sure what I'm going to do. This was easy because there wasn't really anything on the line. And again, I got to figure out what the hell's wrong with my microphone that isn't picking up volume like it should. But that'll do it for me. Have a good night.